Tonight is Friday, and you know what that means. Tonight, AEW has a 2-hour block on TNT, as it is their second weekly program, Rampage, and Battle of the Belts, set to take place tonight as well. We got matches and matches and matches. We start with Battle of the Belts, and then we will work backwards to Rampage, as AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy defends his championship belt against Dralistico, as Mr. Rampage is not on Rampage this week, actually. He's on Battle of the Belts. Jade Cargill defends against a wrestling prodigy against the wrestling prodigy Billy Starks, who I believe is younger than Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne Perez is 21 years old. Billy Starks, I think, is under 20, which is absolutely insane, especially considering the weeks that she's had, or the month she's had, against the talent that she's competed with. But getting a TBS championship against against Jade Cargill, is just icing on the cake, as she will be on TNT. And also in an interesting tag team match, as Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall challenge the Lucha Brothers for their newly won Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. I feel like it would have made more sense if people in Ring of Honor actually challenged for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, and that a random thrown together tag team, even though I do understand the logic of it, considering the fact that the Lucha Brothers competed in singles matches against Powerhouse Hobbs over the last couple of weeks. So the idea of them competing in a tag team match against Powerhouse Hobbs and his leech, QT Marshall, it's not that surprising, but it's just a little, I would say it's a bit of a missed opportunity, maybe. Either way, it should be, honestly, it's a kind of a weak episode of Battle of the Belts, and it makes me question why they didn't slide one of these matches to Dynamite, especially the TBS Championship match, to Dynamite, and have in turn the highly anticipated tag team match with FTR and the Guns take place on Battle of the Belts, or Jamie Hayter defend her women's championship against Riho at Battle of the Belts. Because both those matches took place on Dynamite, I don't know why one of those matches did not take place at Battle of the Belts if they had the plan for Battle of the Belts tonight. I understand, they wanted the ratings, but ratings don't matter if you spend all the ratings points on one show and you don't give anything, you don't toss a marble to another show. Because then, basically, you're expecting fans to go watch it based on the talent that is on the show instead of giving them a reason to. And that's the problem. You're not giving them a reason to. You're expecting that they will because of the fact that Orange Cassidy gets a big pop, or the Lucha Brothers are fan favorites, or you want to see if Jade Cargill loses. She's not going to. I hate to break it to you. But, it's like you got to give them a reason to watch it, and if you give them a reason to watch it, then they will. I hope that's something that they would have learned from Dynamite Rampage a couple weeks ago. They gave people a reason to watch it because of the stuff that they put on the show, and it worked. The Outcast and all those other matches that they put on the show that week, it worked, and it gave people a reason to watch the show. People wanted to watch the show because they wanted to see what happened. And if you give people championship matches that they want to see on Battle of the Belts, they will watch Battle of the Belts. They will watch the show. It's that simple. It's that simple. They will watch the show because they want to see it. But we're not going to just focus on Battle of the Belts, as we also have to talk about Rampage. And Rampage has an announcement from somebody who has frankly disappeared. That being Swerve Strickland, as Swerve Strickland is going to be on Rampage this week. As honestly, I don't even know if he's still feuding with Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes, because the last time we saw Swerve Strickland, he was wrapped up with his mogul affiliates against Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee. That goes back to my question being, if you have a show like Rampage, why wouldn't you have a feud involving Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland exclusively pushed on Rampage? A face-to-face confrontation will also take place on Rampage between the TBS champion Jade Cargill and Taya Valkyrie. You have to figure that at whatever our next pay-per-view is for AEW, which I believe will be Double or Nothing, it will be Taya Valkyrie challenging Jade Cargill for the AEW TBS Championship, or for the TBS Championship. You have to figure that will be the case, because the only viable challenger at this point, in my opinion, is Taya Valkyrie. The Acclaimed and Matt Menard and Angelo Parker will fight in a 8-man tag team match against, to be announced, aka local talent. I mean, I don't understand it, but I do think it has something to do with the offer from the JAS, and you have to figure that this may lead to the Acclaimed doing something with the JAS. But also, I enjoy seeing Menard and Parker in action, because I don't feel like they're seen in action nearly enough, and that we see Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara in action more than enough. So seeing the Acclaimed and Matt Menard and Angelo Parker in action is a bit of a breath of fresh air. Darby Allin against Lee Moriarty and FTW champion Hook against Ethan Page. I mean, is there any doubt of the FTW champion Hook defending his title against Ethan Page? But again, it's Hook against Ethan Page, a confrontation with Taya Valkyrie and Jade Cargill, a random 8-man tag team match, the Acclaimed and 2.0, teaming up against, to be announced, Darby Allin against Lee Moriarty, an announcement against from Swerve, and on Battle of the Belts following, Lucha Brothers defend against Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall, Jade Cargill against the Prodigy, Billy Starks, and Orange Cassidy defends the International Championship against Drolistico. That is tonight, 2-hour block from AEW on TNT, Rampage, and then right after Battle of the Belts, as I always say, if you're looking for wrestling tonight, Friday is the best night to find it. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central, SmackDown on Fox, and then right after SmackDown, 2 hours of All Elite Wrestling, Battle of the Belts, and Rampage. With that being said, I will see you in the next video.